Hi everyone. Welcome to TechCare Solution podcast. We have a Rick Schad from FragilePak and we will listen his story and his company story today. So welcome Rick and tell us about yourself and what do your company do?
Well, our company, we deliver white glove deliveries in every address in continental USA for several, name brand retail companies. All of the deliveries are two people deliveries, a lot of heavy stuff, couches and saunas and hot tubs and treadmills and things like that. And we either leave it, or if you paid for us to come in your home and install it and assemble it for you, that's what we do. And we've been around for 10 years, and we have several cross docks that we own and operate. And then all of our teams that do the deliveries, for the most part, are providers that we contract with in different cities to deliver our customers' orders. And we have a team of regional managers and directors that report to me, that we go out into the field and we train the people how to make the delivery what we call the FragilePak way.
Okay. So in order to understand this correctly, so this is the customer facing, right? So anybody in the world, anybody in the US, for example, if they want to deliver a heavy equipment, they can reach you guys, or it's just specific for the B2 businesses or the heavy equipments only?
Well, we don't really do any single orders where somebody can say, hey, I got one couch, we can help with something like that. But most of our customers are big retailers or e-tailers that, they give us trailer loads, and then the trailer loads of freight coming to us. We put labels on everything and we scan everything so we know where everything is. And we have some really cool proprietary software that helps us using data, manage our network. And we have teams of people that are watching every order every single second to make sure that, we're getting the deliveries done in a timely manner for the customer.
So if I own a furniture company, for example, and I have to deliver a big order, so I can still go for the FragilePak in order to go for that big shipping.
Yeah. If you owned a furniture company and you have deliveries that you want to make, within one city or anywhere in the country, we could team up and partner up, and you can send us the deliveries or we'll come pick them up from you, and we will scan them, put labels on them, and you will have complete access to our technology, so you'll know where the orders are. And then as the freight's traveling through the country, you'll get updates, and then we work to make the delivery successful and damage-free. One of our mottos is damage-free delivery, and we spend a lot of time and a lot of effort ensuring that we deliver everything damage-free.
Yeah, I was following the LinkedIn of the FragilePak and you especially, and I was looking at this like damage-free delivery. So I think that's like a most selling proposition for the FragilePak. They are delivering without damaging. So that's a good thing to know. Like people can reach out to you for these kind of deliveries. And if we talk about the operations, first of all, so do you have before that? So if I have to deliver something, I will go from A to B. Like A is a source and B is the destination. Do you own any kind of a warehouse where you store in between, and then if there needs to be delivered after a certain period of time, you can deliver it from there? So do you also own the warehouses?
Yeah, we own our cross docks in several cities where we either bring the freight in and we quickly label it and ship it out, or we do work with customers if they want to store inventory at our cross dock. We're willing to do that. Obviously, there's a cost to it. And then the customer just tells us, hey, go pull this brown couch and the SKU number ABC123 and put a label on it and ship it to Rick Schad's house, and we go do that. So you either can just ship through us when you have the orders, or we could always come to an agreement and we can store inventory for you, and you tell us what orders to go pick. We could do either or.
Oh, okay. So if I have to talk about the business now, like what differentiates the FragilePak's delivery network from the standard LTL or white gloves delivery services?
Well, the main thing is LTL is known to damage freight. They have a high damage frequency. Some of them upwards of 15% of everything they handle, they damage one way or another.
Yeah.
our damage frequency is less than 1%. So our biggest selling point is we don't damage the freight. We hand load everything. We hardly ever use forklifts. Once in a while we get a
Mm-hmm.
big hot tub that you can't lift it up without a forklift, but most of the stuff we are using the old-fashioned way. We're using human labor to load the trucks, and that
Oh,
way they
nice.
they stack it up professionally and
Mm-hmm.
damage free, and then it gets to the ultimate customer, the purchaser. It gets to their house damage free, and that's the key. People are willing to have their service take a little longer to get there if it's damage free.
Yeah. That's true. That's true, actually. So, if you operate all over the U.S., like, or there is a specific section of the area where you guys like do these kind of deliveries, or anywhere from within the U.S.
Yeah, yeah. We have 90 locations in the United States that we do our deliveries, and
Wow.
we deliver every zip code. In
Mm-hmm.
some cities in New York City, they deliver a small territory because we have other providers because of the density. And then,
Mm-hmm.
some areas like North and South Dakota, we deliver every zip code out of Minneapolis because it works.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
just, it's all about density and efficiency.
Nice.
To make
Nice
it
to hear that.
work economically, you have to have, several orders on the trucks because you can't drive from Minneapolis to Fargo, North Dakota with only one order. That one order is not going to
Yeah.
pay for it. So you gotta wait till you have 12 to 14 orders, then you send a truck up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's where your expertise comes into, like, operations. And with the 90 in mind, I think there's a lot of connecting dots between them, between all the warehouses. It would be a very cumbersome job for you as VP of operations to manage these among the different. So, are you using a specific in-house tool for managing or optimizing those route optimizations and other kind of
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, all
Okay.
of our software that we use to manage the business are all we have in-house IT folks that are very smart, and we build everything proprietary. We don't really go out to get off the
Mm-hmm.
market shelf anything. We build everything ourselves.
Nice. That's good. That's good. Like, you have the control over all the IT system by yourself,
Yeah.
and you know where to put your money into. And that's so. Let's dive out of the business right now. So let's talk about the industry as a whole. So, what big changes or trends are you currently seeing in this industry right now?
The most challenging thing is, everybody has been Amazoned. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody, just because you can order like, the new phone case from Amazon and it comes 3 minutes later,
Yeah.
when you're getting furniture and some big items, many times that furniture is on a cargo, is in a
Mm-hmm.
cargo container and it's coming across the country or coming
Yeah.
across the ocean. And we don't even have the delivery yet. So that's
Okay.
the biggest thing where customers, they're so used to because of
Mm-hmm.
Amazon getting everything like
Yeah.
immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the challenge is because now they want all these big ticket items and they want them like instantaneously and immediately, and that's just something all the 3PL providers like our company, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nobody can offer that because there's just not enough density. So but we do
Yeah.
we do move the freight and get it to the customer as quickly as we can and as
Mm-hmm.
efficiently as we can. We can deliver everything overnight if you want, but you might not want to
Yeah.
make that payment. So
Yeah.
there's got to be some scaling there, to make it work financially for everybody. That's the
Yeah.
biggest
That's.
problem. The demand of the
Mm-hmm.
customer just increases constantly.
Exactly. I think the customer's perspective has been changed since the Amazon come into this business. So now they
Yep.
expect everything I think within 3 days or 2 days at most. So I think that's the where of the your direct competition would be like to deliver in the same time frame where the customer is expecting. But but do you think that the customer who is willing to get a higher weight deliveries do take time, and that the perspective with the low overtime or low time is only for the low weight values, right? Amazon have a low, like, a lot of warehouses. That's the one problem. Like, they have a lot of warehouses as compared to any other company. So do you have the 90 operations? Do you have optimization techniques, and where you go? Still they are far behind of you, and the main reason is you believe the customer perspective, right? So is
Mhm.
this right? Like, it put forward, to get into the shoes of the Amazon is very hard at this point of time. apart from the Amazon, except all the 3PL warehouses are having this challenge. They are able to want to deliver, but there's of course the operation challenges and the delivery challenges associated with it. This you mentioned as a like for company, this is kind of a challenge. But if you look for the industry, apart from the delivery challenges, what exactly you see in the market? Like there is a with the AI movement, how exactly this whole industry is moving towards? Do you have like say on this thought, like how the AI is evolving and how this, according to AI, how this industry is evolving?
Yeah, we are using AI a lot right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on some new software right now that will be the next generation, where AI will
Okay.
be greatly involved with scheduling
Mm-hmm.
our deliveries for us and our management team. I'm using AI all the time to do
Mm-hmm.
analysis of reports that
Okay.
would probably take me 2 days to do if I had to do it myself. But AI gets it
Mm-hmm.
done in 5 minutes, and it helps us figure out exactly where our problems are and who
Mm-hmm.
to call, or develop action plans to improve, because our job is to always improve the service for the customer, and AI definitely is helping us with data analysis. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
using it, and it's a big initiative for our company this year, is training all the management staff
Mm-hmm.
to go in and use AI all the time. And the goal was to, like, if we wanted to take about 2 hours of work out of everybody's day of
Mm-hmm.
just doing data crunching and things like that, where if AI can do it for you in 2 minutes, then
Yeah.
that gives you back 2 hours to do some more proactive work. So that's what we're
Yeah.
working on.
That's good to hear, like how you implementing this AI into your businesses and how it's improving the day-to-day business and decision making. That's glad, like data analysis is one of the biggest part the AI is solving these days in the businesses. I'm glad you're on
Mhm.
the top of it. So, but if we think about like in the sales side, so for example, if you want to have a new client, how do you guys like approach to it?
Well, we have sales teams out there that go out, and they there's a lot of furniture conventions. There's a lot of avenues where people are looking to ship product or to grow their business, and like I've
Hmm.
been we ship product regionally, but boy, we'd like to ship nationally now. So we
Yeah.
go to conventions and we meet customers, and we put proposals together for them with slideshows, and we have them come visit our locations to see what we do and how we do it, so they can see
Hmm.
that when we tell them that we're not going to damage their freight
Yeah.
because we hand load everything. They actually see us hand loading the orders, and a lot of customers, once they see that, geez, they really do what they say they do, that helps us
Hmm.
get in the door pretty fast.
Yeah. Okay. So you must have those businesses as your like a perfect customer. Like they always go for you guys in order to deliver anything in their manufacturing decision. Do you have those kind of customer in manufacturing companies as your customer? Do you have that?
Yeah, yeah, we have
And
a bunch of
mostly,
customers that they give us all of their freight, and
okay.
we do a good job and spend an exorbitant amount of effort to make sure we
Hmm.
do a good job for them. And we have a regular QBR meetings with them to go over the
Hmm.
data to make sure that it doesn't matter what we feel; it only matters what they feel. So if they
Yeah.
feel we're doing a good job for them, that gives us a chance to grow with them, as they grow or they bring on new products. So
No.
we do spend a
Yeah.
lot of time. We have another team that their job is just to work directly with the customers at all times, just to make sure that they're feeling good about what we're doing for them. Because I might be thinking my
Hmm.
operations team is doing a great job, but if the
Yeah.
customer doesn't think, they doesn't matter what I think. It only matters what they think. So yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how quickly you deliver if they are not satisfied with it. That's the challenge.
Exactly. Yep.
So if we go back to the challenge, I got a question. I just skipped out of my mind now. So in the challenge, you said that what exactly you could have done differently in order to solve that challenge that you mentioned, like before, we are unable to compete with the Amazon's perspective of delivering such early. So how do you do what exactly, if I give you all the tools and everything in the world, what exactly do you have done it different so that you could compete with them?
Well, I mean, we would need a lot more startup money and a lot more equity so we can
Mm-hmm.
build these warehouses and kind of wait for the customers to come. That was one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that Amazon did. Jeff Bezos was very good at bringing equity in and building
Mm-hmm.
warehouses, and they weren't profitable for a long time, but everybody
Yeah.
believed in his mission. Everybody believed in his mission. So, if we did
Yeah.
anything different, is just get more investors to believe
Mm-hmm.
in what we were doing, and put some of those warehouses in where I can go to any customer and say, why don't you just store all your inventory with us? And then,
Mm-hmm.
when you get the order, it comes to us, and we take it off the shelf or off the racks, because it's, you're talking couches and, big stuff, right? And we can immediately, send it to our provider in the area, and they can schedule the customer to make the delivery.
Mm-hmm.
One of the issues that we have that Amazon doesn't have is that with our stuff, when you're going into people's homes, you have to
Mm-hmm.
call the customer and get them on a call and
Yeah.
say, hey, we're in your area on Friday. Will Friday work for you? Oh, no, I can't do it
Mm-hmm.
Friday. What about Tuesday? No, Tuesday. So you've got to kind of negotiate what day we can come to their house to deliver it. Where Amazon, once you
Mm-hmm.
once you order it, they just tell you, oh, it's coming Tuesday, but they just
Mm-hmm.
leave it at your door. The
Yeah.
majority of our stuff, we're going in people's homes. So we
Exactly.
can't choose what day we're going to make the delivery.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, work with the consignee to say what day is good for you. Now, we do have some really
Mm-hmm.
cool technology that we send them links and say, hey, your new couch from your place of purchase is at our final mile provider. Go on
Mm-hmm.
this link and choose what day you want to get it. And then, we
Yeah.
want to deliver it tomorrow, but they might not want it tomorrow. They might not want it for a week. So we can't
Yeah.
deliver it as fast as we always want, because because we're going into people's homes. We have to wait
Yeah.
for the consignee to tell us when we can deliver it.
Yeah.
So
That's
that,
the, I
that's
think, main
probably
thing.
that's a challenge that that we're never going to overcome,
Yeah.
because you got to wait for the consignee. Amazon never has to, but we do.
Yeah.
But there is a possibility, if we had more freight
Mm-hmm.
that was, in warehouses around the country from all of our
Mm-hmm.
customers, we could take a couple days out of the delivery
Mm-hmm.
process. A lot of our customers, they have their own distribution warehouses, and they don't want to do that. They get their
Mm-hmm.
orders, and when they get a truckload, they send them to us. And
Yeah.
it's not going to be exactly like Amazon is, but the problem is that everybody who wants the delivery, they want it like
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, but
Yeah.
most people don't understand logistics. They just don't really understand it to the level of the way it really is.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Do you have to constrain with the consent of the customer in order to deliver that part? Where Amazon are
Yes.
not dealing with that thing. That's
Yeah.
the one thing. And we talked about the challenge before. Now let's talk about the positive thing. Like what exactly has been working perfectly well in the organization, in the business recently? So what's working perfectly well as per the business is concerned?
Well, our scheduling software that we have, where we allow the customer to schedule their own deliveries, that works very, very well. Probably
Mm-hmm.
80% of all orders, we don't even have to talk to the customer, because we send them a link and says, hey, here's the days we're in your area, choose your day. And then they choose
Yeah.
their day, we see it. And then, our providers, they look inside our technology and they see that it's scheduled, and
Mm-hmm.
we just go make the delivery on the day the customer wants. So, that works very well. And then we have our own software that gets loaded on, we call them home delivery specialists, the app on their phone. We capture everything that happens in the home. We capture it with pictures
Mm-hmm.
and some really cool technology. So,
Yep.
and those are all things. The technology that we have is another one of the reasons why the customers choose us, because
Mm-hmm.
we can provide whatever data anybody wants, we can provide it. And,
Okay.
that's another one of the reasons why, we win business and then keep the business.
That's good strategy. So if I have to get to the high levels, your company is this is warehouse owners. Those are logistic company. Those are technology company. So what should I call in the whole contextual way? What exactly the Fragile Pack is? Is it a warehouse company, technology company, like the logistic company, or it's a combination of all?
It's all of the above. We do it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're very
That's it.
proud of our technology.
Mm-hmm.
We're very proud of our delivery teams. We call them home delivery specialists. And,
Mm-hmm.
it's in all of our providers that we contract with that I manage. We have a really good relationship with them. And,
Mm,
we're in it for the same reason, right? We're all in
yeah.
it together to, delight the customer, keep the business that we have, and then
Mm,
if we do a good job, our name gets out there, and then more customers
mm,
come to us. But yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So my most of the questions are related to the sales, like how exactly you reach to the new client. Would you be able to answer to those questions? Like, if I are looking for a new client, what exactly do you use in the strategy? Do you or sales
Well,
question to answer this?
there's a lot of trade shows where
Oh yeah,
customers that
you mentioned trade show.
furniture trade shows, we
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of information from there. Everybody out there, sees all the big shippers. We know
Yeah.
we know who ships, Costco,
Mm,
etc., Sam's Club, and
yeah.
they deliver big stuff. So we knock on
Mm,
their door, get our foot in the door, and then we end up doing a really good job for them, and we grow with them. So
yeah.
there's a lot of work behind the scenes developing leads
Mm,
and getting in front of them. And every trade show we have a booth, so we
mm,
always have a sales team in every trade show, like with Fragile Pack name, Fragile Pack brand, and that's how
mm-hmm.
we get in front of customers.
Nice, nice. That's a good strategy, I believe. So now coming to the end part of it, where do you looking at? Like, where do you see this fragile pack in 6 to 12 months from now? Where do you want to see it?
Our goal is to double the amount of orders that we deliver per day and
Mm-hmm.
continue grow the business. And and then there's a return for shareholders in the company,
Yeah,
and everybody wins. So a
yeah,
lot of effort to grow the business right now. And hopefully the economy is beginning to change, some positive things with interest rates going down. Those are all things
mm-hmm.
that could free up people's money to purchase, because
Yeah,
you know uh, you, the average person doesn't buy a couch every year, or a
yeah,
bed every year, or a
that's true.
treadmill every year. So it's a challenge. But if we
Yeah,
do a good job for the place that they bought it from, maybe they bought a
mm-hmm.
couch from that customer this year, next week they buy or next year they buy a dining room set. So we
Yeah,
delivered their couch this year. Next year we deliver their dining room set. So it's all
mm,
about delighting the customer, keeping the business you have, and the word gets out there. If
yeah,
customer A is at a trade show, and a lot of times, people move between companies, right? And
yeah,
you
exactly.
you work for customer A, but now you work for customer B, and
Mm,
I come over to see you, and I say, hey, who
mm,
does your final mile deliveries? And you say, hey,
yeah,
Fragile Pack does mine, and they do a good job. So there's a lot of word of mouth that um, that helps us keep business or gain business.
yeah. I think word of mouth is the perfect key to the success for any company. If you're able to deliver what you promise, you will definitely get the new business.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Rick, for joining us with on this podcast. I really appreciate your time for giving
You're
this.
welcome. Welcome. I hope it helped you. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you very
thank you.
much.
Follow TechAI Solution channel for up-to-date podcasts